The abduction. On the distant planet of Vespera, the sky shimmered with bright colors, and strange creatures roamed the lush landscapes. This was a place of beauty and wonder, but today a dark cloud loomed over the palace of Princess Zora. She was known for her kindness and bravery, always helping her people. Today was a special day, the Festival of Lights, where the citizens celebrated peace and unity. Everyone in the palace was filled with joy and excitement, but Zara had a strange feeling in her heart. As she prepared for the festival, Zara looked out from her balcony. The vibrant gardens below were filled with laughter and music. People danced, their faces glowing with happiness. Zara smiled, but her mind wandered. She felt as if something was not right. Suddenly, the joyful sounds turned into screams. A shadow passed over the sun, and the atmosphere shifted. In a flash, a group of menacing alien warriors stormed the palace. Their armor was dark, and their eyes glowed with a terrifying light. They were from the rival planet, Zarkan, and they had come to take the princess. Zara's heart raced as she heard the shouts of her guards trying to protect her. She knew she had to escape, but before she could move, a powerful hand grabbed her arm. "Let me go," she shouted, struggling against the grip of the warrior. But he was too strong. With a swift motion, he lifted her off her feet and carried her away from the chaos. Zara could see her friends and family fighting to save her, but there were too many attackers. The warriors moved quickly, and soon they were outside, heading for a dark spaceship that loomed in the sky. Inside the ship, Zara was thrown into a cold, dark cell. The door slammed shut, and she heard the sound of locks clicking into place. Panic surged through her as she realized what had happened. She was trapped, and no one knew where she was. The silence was deafening, and she felt a sense of despair wash over her. Hours passed, but it felt like days. Zara sat on the cold floor, trying to think of a plan. She had always been resourceful, but now fear clouded her mind. She thought of her people back on Vespera, and how they must be worried about her. They relied on her, and she couldn't let them down. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps echoed down the corridor. Zara's heart raced again, and she pressed herself against the wall, hoping to become invisible. The door to her cell swung open, and a tall figure entered. It was a Zarkonian warrior, his face hidden behind a mask. He looked at her with a mix of curiosity and disdain. "Princess," he said, his voice deep and cold, "your fate is sealed. You will be a pawn in our game." Zara stared at him defiantly. She refused to show fear. "You won't get away with this," she replied, her voice steady. "My people will come for me." The warrior laughed, a harsh sound that sent chills down her spine. "Your people are weak," he said. "No one will save you. You are far from home now." Zora knew she had to keep her spirit strong. She remembered the stories her mother told her about bravery in the face of danger. In that moment, she made a silent promise to herself. She would find a way to escape. As the warrior turned to leave, Zara began to form a plan in her mind. She would not let her story end here. Little did she know that far away, on a human military base, a brave soldier was about to learn about her capture. The fate of Princess Zora and her planet rested in the hands of an unlikely hero. The human soldier. On a military base orbiting Earth, a young soldier named Alex trained hard every day. He was known for his quick thinking and strong spirit. Standing at 6 feet tall, he had a rugged look, with short brown hair and sharp blue eyes. He had joined the Galactic Alliance to protect not just his planet, but also others in the galaxy. Despite the dangers, he believed in peace and friendship between different species. One morning, as the sun rose, casting a warm glow over the base, Alex was in the training room, practicing his combat skills. He moved with grace and strength, hitting the punching bag with powerful blows. His trainer watched closely, nodding with approval. "You're improving, Alex," he said. "But remember, strength isn't everything. You need to be smart too." After finishing his training, Alex joined his friends for breakfast in the mess hall. The room buzzed with laughter and chatter as soldiers shared stories about their latest missions. As they ate, the commander entered, a serious look on his face. The room fell silent. "Listen up, everyone," the commander said, his voice firm. "We have received urgent news from Vespera. Princess Zora has been captured by Zarkonian forces. We must act fast." Gasps filled the room. The soldiers exchanged worried glances. Princess Zora was known across the galaxy as a symbol of hope and bravery. If she was in danger, it could mean trouble for many worlds. "Are we going to rescue her?" Alex asked, feeling a surge of determination. He had heard about Zora's kindness and strength, and he couldn't bear the thought of her suffering. "Yes, we are," the commander replied. "But this mission won't be easy. The Zarkonians are fierce warriors, and their base is heavily guarded. We need a team of the best soldiers for this rescue." Alex's heart raced with excitement. He wanted to be part of this mission. "I want to go," he said, his voice strong. "I can help. I have trained for this." The commander studied Alex for a moment. "It's dangerous, Alex. You could get hurt. Are you sure you're ready?" "I'm ready," Alex insisted. "We can't let them keep her. I won't let her down." After a few moments of consideration, the commander nodded. "Very well. You will be part of the rescue team. Gather your gear and meet in the briefing room in 1 hour." As Alex rushed to prepare, he felt a mix of nerves and excitement. He grabbed his armor and weapons, double-checking everything. He thought about Princess Zora and how brave she must be feeling, locked away in a dark cell. He hoped she was safe and strong. When Alex arrived at the briefing room, he found other soldiers gathered, each with a look of determination on their faces. The commander outlined the plan, explaining how they would infiltrate the Zarkonian base and rescue Zora. Alex listened closely, taking mental notes. He wanted to be ready for anything. As the meeting ended, the soldiers exchanged encouraging words. "Let's bring her home," one soldier said, clenching his fist. Alex felt the same fire in his heart. He was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the spaceship prepared and the team gathered, they boarded, excitement buzzing in the air. Alex took a deep breath, ready to do whatever it took to save the princess. He looked out at the stars, thinking of Zora. He knew that today would change everything. The journey to rescue her had begun, and he was determined to succeed. The plan. Inside the briefing room, tension filled the air as the soldiers prepared to discuss their plan. The lights were dim, and a large screen displayed a map of the Zarkonian base. Alex stood among his teammates, his heart racing with excitement and fear. He couldn't help but think about Princess Zora and how important this mission was. The commander stood at the front of the room, pointing to the map. "This is the Zarkonian stronghold. It's heavily guarded, but we have a strategy to reach Princess Zora." He clicked a button, and the map zoomed in on the entrance and the surrounding areas. "First, we will arrive under the cover of darkness," the commander explained. "We'll land a few kilometers away from the base and move quietly. Our goal is to avoid detection." A soldier named Mia, who was known for her stealth skills, raised her hand. "What if we encounter guards on the way? Zarkonians are tough." "We'll divide into small teams," the commander replied. "Alex, you will lead one of the teams. Your job will be to distract the guards while the others sneak in to find the princess. Timing is everything. We'll only have a few minutes once we create a diversion." Alex felt a mix of pride and pressure. Leading a team was a big responsibility, but he was ready to take it on. "What kind of distraction should we use?" he asked, thinking quickly. The commander nodded, impressed. "Good question. We will set off an explosive device near the main entrance. The noise will draw the guards' attention, allowing your team to slip inside." Another soldier, Ryan, chimed in. "I can handle the explosives. Just give me a signal, and I'll make it loud." "Perfect," the commander replied. "Once inside, You must locate the cell where Princess Zora is being held. The Zarkonians usually keep their prisoners in the lower levels of the base. Alex, your team will have to move fast. We won't have much time." As the plan unfolded, Alex's mind raced with ideas. He thought about how to keep his team safe while also being quick. "What if we use a holographic projector?" he suggested. "We could create an image of something else to confuse the guards, making them think the threat is coming from a different direction." The commander nodded. "That's a great idea, Alex. We can use it along with the explosives. It will give us an edge." Mia smiled, her eyes bright. "I like it. Let's confuse them and make our move." As the discussion continued, they talked about the equipment they would need: communication devices, weapons, and the holographic projector. Each soldier checked their gear, ensuring they were ready for anything. Alex felt the excitement build within him as he looked around at his teammates. They were a strong group, ready to fight for what was right. "Remember, our goal is to rescue the princess and get out safely," the commander reminded everyone. "Stay focused and trust each other. We can do this if we work as a team." After the meeting, Alex felt a sense of camaraderie with his fellow soldiers. They shared the same purpose, and it made him feel less alone in this dangerous mission. As they prepared to leave, he could see determination on everyone's faces. They were ready to face the Zarkonians and save Princess Zora. As they boarded the spaceship, Alex took a deep breath, his mind set on the mission ahead. He thought of Zora and how brave she had to be, locked away in that dark cell. He promised himself that he would do everything in his power to bring her home. The team was ready, and so was he. The plan was set in motion, and soon they would be on their way to rescue the princess. The rescue mission. The spaceship soared through the starry sky, heading toward the Zarkonian base. Alex sat in the cockpit, gripping the controls. His heart raced with a mix of fear and excitement. Beside him, Mia and Ryan checked their gear, ensuring everything was ready for the mission ahead. 5 minutes until we land," Maya said, her eyes focused on the screen. "Get ready, everyone." The other soldiers gathered around, their faces determined. They went over the plan one last time, whispering to each other about their roles. Alex felt the weight of leadership on his shoulders, but he was ready. He had trained for this moment, and he wouldn't let his team down. As they approached the planet, the Zarkonian base came into view. It was a massive structure, built with dark metal and surrounded by tall, jagged cliffs. Guards patrolled the perimeter, their sharp eyes scanning the area. Alex could feel his nerves tightening, but he pushed it aside. They had a job to do. "Landing in 3, 2, 1, Ryan announced. The ship touched down softly, hidden behind a group of rocks. The soldiers quickly grabbed their gear and moved to the back of the ship. "Remember the plan," Alex reminded everyone, his voice steady. "Stay low and quiet. We need to create a distraction first." With that, the team slipped out of the ship and into the shadows. The cool night air surrounded them as they crept toward the base. Alex led the way, his heart pounding with each step. He could see the guards up ahead, their backs turned to him. It was time to act. "Ryan, get the explosives ready," Alex whispered. "Mia and I will set up the holographic projector." Ryan nodded, moving to a safe spot to prepare the device. Mia crouched next to Alex, holding the projector in her hands. They could hear the guards laughing and talking, unaware of the danger nearby. "On my signal," Alex said, glancing at Ryan. He waited until Ryan gave a thumbs up. "Now." With a quick motion, Ryan pressed the button on the explosives. A loud bang echoed through the night, shaking the ground. At the same moment, Mia activated the holographic projector. An image of a giant monster appeared near the entrance of the base, roaring and moving as if it were real. The guards jumped in surprise, their eyes wide with fear. "What is that?" one of them shouted, pointing at the hologram. They turned to run, leaving their posts. "Let's go," Alex urged, sprinting toward the entrance with Mia close behind. They dashed through the open door, heartbeats racing with adrenaline. Inside, the air was cold and damp, and the lights flickered overhead. "Which way to the cells?" Maya asked, glancing around at the dark hallways. Alex studied the map in his mind. "We need to go down the stairs. The cells are in the lower levels." They hurried down the corridor, keeping quiet. The sounds of chaos echoed behind them, but they pressed on. As they reached the stairs, they could hear the distant shouts of the Zarkonian guards as they tried to regroup. Time was running out. "We're almost there," Alex said, feeling a rush of hope. They descended the stairs, moving quickly but carefully. Finally, they reached a heavy metal door labeled "Prisoners." "This must be it," Maya said, her eyes bright with excitement. Alex nodded and pushed against the door, but it wouldn't budge. "Let me try," Ryan said, stepping forward. He pulled out a small tool and began working on the lock. Minutes felt like hours as the sounds of guards grew louder. "Come on, Ryan," Alex urged, glancing back nervously. He could hear footsteps approaching. With a final click, the door swung open. Inside, they found a series of small cells, and in one of them, huddled in the corner, was Princess Zora. Her eyes widened in surprise when she saw them. "Alex, you came," she exclaimed, her voice a mixture of relief and disbelief. "Hang on, we're getting you out," Alex replied, moving quickly to unlock the cell. As they freed her, the sound of footsteps echoed down the hall. "We have to hurry," Alex urged. They could not waste any time. Together, they raced back up the stairs, Zora between them, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The rescue mission was just beginning, and they would fight together to escape the Zarkonian base. The escape. As Alex, Mia, Ryan, and Princess Zora rushed up the stairs, their hearts raced with adrenaline. The sound of Zarkonian guards shouting filled the air, growing louder with each passing second. They knew they had to move quickly. There was no time to waste. "Which way?" Zora asked, looking around with wide eyes. Her hair was messy, and her clothes were wrinkled from captivity, but her spirit shone bright. Alex could see the determination in her gaze, and it gave him strength. "This way," he said, pointing toward a narrow corridor that led to the main exit. "We need to get to the hangar where the ships are kept." They dashed down the hallway, keeping low and quiet. Alex led the group, glancing back to make sure everyone was close behind. They turned a corner and skidded to a stop. In front of them stood two Zarkonian guards, their weapons drawn and ready. "Stop right there," one of the guards shouted, raising his weapon. Fear flashed in Zora's eyes, but Alex quickly stepped in front of her. "Go," he yelled. "I'll hold them off." "No, Alex," Mia shouted, reaching out to grab his arm. "We can't leave you behind." "There's no time," he insisted, determination in his voice. "You have to save Zora. I'll find a way to catch up." Zora shook her head. "We won't leave you." The guards advanced, and Alex could see their cold expressions. With a quick glance back at Zora, he made his decision. "Trust me. Go now." Mia hesitated but finally nodded. "Okay, let's go," she urged Zora, grabbing her hand. They sprinted down the hallway as Alex prepared to face the guards. "Come on," one of the guards yelled, charging forward. Alex quickly grabbed a nearby metal pipe, ready to defend himself. He swung the pipe, hitting the first guard squarely in the chest. The guard staggered back, surprised. "Get him," the second guard shouted, and they lunged at Alex. He ducked and dodged, using his agility to stay one step ahead. He knew he couldn't hold them off for long, but he was determined to give his friends a chance to escape. Meanwhile, Mia and Zara raced through the corridors, their hearts pounding. "We have to get to the hangar," Maya said, pushing forward. They turned another corner, and the bright lights of the hangar entrance shone ahead. There. Zora pointed, relief flooding her voice. We can get a ship from there. As they entered the hangar, they saw several Zarkonian ships parked inside. Mia quickly searched for a way to start one of them. Over there, she shouted, pointing to a small ship that looked less guarded. They sprinted toward it. Inside the ship, Mia began pressing buttons, trying to remember the training she had received. I hope I can do this, she muttered under her breath. Zara watched nervously as she worked. Come on, Mia. You can do it, Zara encouraged. Just then, they heard footsteps behind them. The guards were coming, and they had to hurry. I'm almost there, Mia exclaimed, her fingers flying over the controls. With a loud beep, the ship's engines roared to life. Yes, we're good to go. Get us out of here, Zara cried, her eyes wide with hope. Mia pressed the launch button, and the ship shot forward, the hangar doors opening just in time. They zoomed out into the open sky, leaving the Zarkonian base behind. But as they soared into the air, a warning siren blared. Zarkonian ships are in pursuit, Zora shouted, looking back at the base. Several dark ships were launching after them, their weapons ready. We need to lose them, Mia yelled, gripping the controls tightly. She pushed the ship to its limits, dodging and weaving through the sky. The Zarkonian ships followed closely, firing their blasters. Alex, still inside the base, had just finished dealing with the guards. He felt a pang of worry for Zara and Mia. I have to get out of here, he said to himself, sprinting toward the nearest exit. As he burst through the door, he saw the ships taking off into the sky. He spotted the Zarkonian ships chasing after his friend's ship. No, he yelled, racing toward the hangar. He had to help them. Inside the hangar, Alex jumped into a small fighter ship, quickly activating the controls. I'm coming, he shouted, and with a blast of engines, he launched into the air. As he soared up, he saw Mia's ship ahead, the Zarkonian ships gaining on them. Alex gritted his teeth, determined to catch up and help his friends. Together, they would escape this nightmare. He knew the battle wasn't over yet, but they had made it this far, and he would do everything he could to protect them. Bonding. The stars twinkled brightly as Mia piloted the ship away from the Zarkonian base. The adrenaline from their escape began to fade, and a quiet relief settled over the crew. Inside the ship, the atmosphere was tense but hopeful. Princess Zora sat in the co-pilot's seat, her hands trembling slightly from the rush of emotions. Alex and Ryan were in the back, checking their gear and ensuring they were safe. Are we really safe now? Zara asked, her voice soft yet filled with uncertainty. She looked out the window, watching the darkness of space wrap around them. For the first time in days, she felt free, but the fear of being captured again lingered in her mind. Mia turned to her, a warm smile on her face. Yes, we are safe for now. The Zarkonians won't follow us into deep space. You're safe with us, Princess. Zara nodded, grateful for Mia's reassurance. Thank you for coming to save me. I didn't think anyone would risk their lives for me. Alex joined the conversation, moving forward to sit next to Zara. You're not just a princess. You're a person, and you matter to us. We couldn't leave you behind. Zara looked at Alex, her heart swelling with gratitude. I appreciate that more than you know. I've always felt pressure to be perfect and to live up to my title. But you all treated me as a friend, not just a princess. Ran, who had been quiet, chimed in. We're all in this together. The bond we're forming is what makes us strong. It's not about titles. It's about trust and friendship. Zara smiled, feeling a sense of warmth in her heart. You are right. I'd spent so much time being worried about my duties and responsibilities that I forgot how important it is to connect with others. I want to know you all better. As the ship flew through the darkness, Mia suggested they share stories. Why don't we take turns sharing something about ourselves? It could help us bond more. Great idea, Alex said, leaning back in his seat. I'll go first. I joined the Galactic Alliance because I wanted to help people. I grew up in a small town, and I always dreamed of making a difference. Every time I put on my uniform, I remember that dream. Zara listened intently, inspired by Alex's passion. That's amazing, Alex. You're brave to take that step. Next, it was Mia's turn. I grew up on a farm, she began, her eyes sparkling with memories. I learned how to fight when raiders attacked our village. I realized I had to protect my home, and that's why I became a soldier. It's my way of ensuring no one else suffers like my family did. That's so strong of you, Mia, Zora said, impressed. You've shown true courage. Ryan leaned forward, eager to share. I was a mechanic before joining the Alliance. I love fixing things and figuring out how they work. I never thought I would be in the middle of a rescue mission like this, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Zara smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection with each of them. Thank you for sharing your stories. It makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself. The atmosphere in the ship grew lighter as they continued sharing their stories, laughter and encouragement filling the cabin. They discussed their hopes and fears, and each story brought them closer together. Zara felt a weight lift from her shoulders. The fear of her captivity began to fade as she realized she was not alone anymore. With each passing moment, her bond with Alex, Mia, and Ryan deepened, creating a newfound sense of belonging. As the stars zipped past outside, Zora understood that she was no longer just a princess. She was a friend, a fighter, and a part of a team. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for peace and freedom. The journey had just begun, but their friendship was already strong, and that was the greatest victory of all. The chase. As the ship flew through the vastness of space, a sense of calm washed over the crew. But just as they began to relax, the warning lights on the control panel flashed red. A loud alarm blared, startling everyone. Zarkonian ships detected. Mia exclaimed, her fingers flying over the controls. They're right behind us. Alex's heart sank. How did they find us so quickly? He asked, looking over Mia's shoulder at the radar screen. Dark shapes were closing in fast. We need to speed up. Mia nodded, pushing the throttle to its limit. The ship roared as it accelerated, but the Zarkonian ships were relentless. They fired blasters, bright red bolts shooting past them like angry meteors. Hold on, Mia shouted, steering the ship sharply to the left. The sudden movement sent them tumbling, and Zara grasped the armrests tightly, her eyes wide with fear. Are we going to make it? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. We have to, Alex replied, determination fueling his words. Mia, can you find a way to outmaneuver them? I'll try. Mia focused on the controls, weaving the ship in and out of the incoming fire. The Zarkonian ships were powerful, but Mia was skilled. She spotted an asteroid field ahead. If we go through there, we might lose them. Let's do it, Alex said, adrenaline rushing through him. Mia turned the ship toward the asteroid field. The rocks floated in space, big and small, creating a dangerous maze. The Zarkonian ships followed closely, their pilots eager to catch their prey. Stay sharp, Ryan called from the back. We need to avoid those asteroids. Mia's hands moved expertly over the controls, steering the ship through the gaps. The ship shook as they passed dangerously close to the asteroids, but Mia kept her focus. I can't believe they're still on us, she said, glancing back at the Zarkonians. The enemy ships were relentless, firing at them as they entered the field. One of the blasts hit the side of their ship, sending vibrations throughout the cabin. Are you okay? Zara asked, her voice strained. I'm fine, just keep your seatbelt on, Mia replied, her eyes darting between the control panel and the field ahead. Alex, what should we do? Ryan shouted. We need a plan. Let's split up, Alex suggested. If we can confuse them, we might have a chance. Mia, can you make a sharp turn to the right? Right. Got it, Maya said, and with that, she turned the ship quickly, sending them into a tight spiral around a cluster of asteroids. The Zarkonian ships followed, but they were not as agile. We need to create some distance, Alex yelled as he noticed one of the enemy ships get too close to an asteroid. It collided with the massive rock, exploding in a flash of light. Good job, Alex cheered, feeling a surge of hope. But they were still not safe. More Zarkonian ships were closing in. Another one on our tail, Mia shouted, adjusting the ship's trajectory. I can't shake them off. Ryan scanned the radar and pointed. There's a narrow opening up ahead. If we can get through, we might lose them. Let's do it, Alex encouraged, his heart racing as he looked at the small gap between the asteroids. Go for it, Mia. Mia steered the ship toward the opening, pushing the engines to their limits. The ship whined as it squeezed through the tight space, the metal walls of the ship brushing against the rocks. Just as they emerged on the other side, they heard another explosion behind them. We did it, Zara shouted, her face lighting up with relief. Mia quickly glanced at the radar. The Zarkonians are losing us, but we have to keep moving. They might regroup. With renewed determination, Mia pushed the ship into overdrive, guiding them away from the asteroid field and back into open space. The stars shone brightly, but the danger was not over yet. The crew needed to find a safe place to hide and regroup. Let's head toward the nearest planet, Alex suggested. We can find a place to land and plan our next move. As they flew through the darkness of space, the crew felt a sense of unity. They had faced danger together, and now they were stronger for it. The chase was not yet over, but they were ready to fight. Together, they would find a way to escape and protect each other. The revelation. As the ship glided through the vast expanse of space, the crew finally felt a sense of calm wash over them. They had managed to evade the Zarkonian ships, at least for the moment. Mia expertly piloted the ship toward a nearby planet, a lush green world that looked inviting from a distance. Let's land there, Alex suggested, pointing at the planet. It seems like a good place to hide and regroup. Mia nodded, her fingers dancing over the controls. I'll set us down in a safe area. The ship descended, the view of the planet growing clearer. Thick forests and sparkling lakes appeared below, promising shelter and safety. As they landed, the crew released the tension they had been holding onto since the rescue. Zara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her captivity begin to lift. I can't believe we made it, she said, a smile breaking across her face. Thank you, all of you. Once they exited the ship, they found themselves in a quiet clearing surrounded by tall trees. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of pine and flowers. For a moment, they just stood there, breathing it all in. We should set up a temporary camp, Ryan suggested, looking around. We need to make a plan for our next move. As they gathered their supplies, Alex noticed Zara standing a little apart from the group, looking lost in thought. He approached her, concerned. Are you okay? He asked gently. Zara turned to him, her eyes reflecting uncertainty. I have so much on my mind. I feel grateful for your help, but I also worry about my people back home. The Zarkonians will not stop until they find me. We'll find a way to protect them, Alex assured her, trying to comfort her. You're not alone anymore. Just then, Mia and Ryan joined them, setting up a small fire. We need to discuss our next steps, Maya said. What do we know about the Zarkonians' plans? Zara took a deep breath and spoke up, her voice steady. The Zarkonians want me back because I hold the key to a powerful alliance. My family has been working on a peace treaty with other species, and if the Zarkonians take me, they can stop that treaty from happening. They want to control the galaxy. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. So it's not just about you, it's about a much larger threat. Yes, Zora confirmed, her eyes filled with resolve. If they succeed, many worlds will suffer. I can't let that happen. Ryan furrowed his brow. But how can we help? We're just a small team. Zara looked at each of them, her expression serious. Together, we can do more than you think. We need to rally support from other planets and create a resistance against the Zarkonians. But first, I need to contact my allies. Do you have a way to send a message? Maya asked, intrigued. If we can alert them, we might have a chance. Zara nodded. I have a hidden communicator on me. It's a small device, but it can send a distress signal to my allies. They will know where to find me. Let's do it. Alex encouraged, feeling a surge of hope. We can't let the Zarkonians win. As Zara retrieved the communicator, she hesitated for a moment, glancing at the faces of her new friends. Are you sure you want to help me? This is dangerous, and the Zarkonians will not stop until they find me. Mia stepped forward, determination in her eyes. We've come this far together. We're in this as a team. We won't abandon you now. Ryan nodded in agreement. You're one of us now, Princess. We'll fight for each other. Zara felt tears prick her eyes, overwhelmed by their support. Thank you. I will not take this for granted. Together, we will stand against the Zarkonians. As Zara activated the communicator, sending out the distress signal, the air filled with a renewed sense of purpose. They were not just a team. They were a family, united in their mission to protect not only Zara, but also the galaxy from the looming threat. The revelation of their bond and shared goal made them stronger, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The Alliance. The soft hum of the communicator filled the clearing as Zara sent out the distress signal. Her heart raced, a mix of hope and fear swirling within her. She turned to her companions, who stood close by, their expressions a blend of determination and excitement. Now we wait, she said, glancing at the sky. The sun was setting, casting golden light through the trees. I hope my allies receive the message quickly. As night fell, they set up a small campfire to keep warm and share stories while they waited. The flickering flames created a cozy atmosphere, and Zara felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced in a long time. She realized how important it was to have people by her side who genuinely cared. Tell us more about your allies, Mia prompted, tossing a log onto the fire. What can we expect when they arrive? Zara took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. My allies are from different planets, each with unique skills and resources. They understand the Zarkonians and their tactics. Some are warriors, while others are diplomats or scientists. Together, we can form a strong alliance. Alex leaned forward, intrigued. What kind of help do you think they can provide? If we can unite our forces, we can launch a counteroffensive against the Zarkonians, Zara explained. We'll need ships, weapons, and intelligence about their movements. If we can disrupt their plans, we can protect my home and the galaxy. Ryan nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. So it's not just about saving you anymore. It's about fighting back. Exactly, Zara said, her voice filled with resolve. We can't let fear control us. We must take action. As they talked, the sound of rustling leaves caught their attention. Everyone turned to the edge of the clearing, eyes wide with anticipation. A figure emerged from the shadows, a tall being with blue skin and bright silver eyes. Zara, the figure called out, rushing toward them. I received your message. Zara's heart leaped. Erin, you made it. She rushed to embrace the newcomer, her relief palpable. Erin was a member of the Eldari, a wise and powerful race known for their advanced technology and diplomatic skills. I knew I had to come, Erin said, stepping back to look at Zara. We cannot let the Zarkonians succeed. Mia and Ryan exchanged glances, impressed by Erin's presence. You're just in time, Alex said, extending a hand. We were just discussing our next steps. Erin turned to the rest of the group, nodding in acknowledgement. I sense you had a strong team here, Zara. It is good to see you have found allies. Zara gestured for everyone to sit. We were talking about forming an alliance to fight against the Zarkonians. We need your help. Erin's silver eyes sparkled with determination. You have my full support. The Eldari have ships ready and can provide you with advanced technology. But we must act quickly. The Zarkonians will not wait. As they shared information, the atmosphere in the clearing shifted from uncertainty to excitement. Together, they strategized, mapping out a plan to gather more allies and resources. Zara felt a fire ignite within her, a sense of purpose that she had been missing. Let's contact more of our allies, Erin suggested. We must spread the word about this alliance. We can hold a summit on the planet of Lior. Many species will attend, and together we can form a united front. Zara's heart raced at the thought. Yes, that's a great idea. We can show them that we stand strong against the Zarkonians. As they discussed their plan, the bond between the group deepened. Each member contributed ideas, their excitement growing with every passing moment. They were no longer just a team. They were part of something bigger, a movement to protect their homes and fight for freedom. As the night sky sparkled with stars, Zara realized they had created something powerful. The alliance was not just about fighting back. It was about hope, friendship, and standing together against a common enemy. With Erin by their side, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their quest for peace and justice in the galaxy.